Hello, I'm Potato Cat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing The Letter. Previously, um, after our Luke's ability to sleep, we get to meet up with Zach again, and then of course we promptly throw him in jail. And Lily has the audacity to throw water at us. Like, who does that? Water of all things. And I decided Luke is like Cartman. Yeah. And we bump him to like this grungy Santa Claus looking dude. We all know who he is, right? Professor Andrew. And yeah, that's pretty much where we left off, you know, after showing the chief who's boss and whatnot. Now we're just leaving. It says new journal, and I'm pretty sure I already read the journal. It's telling me this because I loaded the game up. I read that part. Yeah, so nothing actually new. Okay. There's a twitch in my eye that I can't hide as I look back at the rude old bastard. Especially not when all he does is look back at me as if this is the first time he's seen me. I mean, it's not. Oh, I need to change my settings. By the way, I'm on my original computer, no more laptop. Also got a better mic, woot woot. Okay, but anyways, all of my old settings are not on this one. Thanks to the cloud, I was able to get all my stuff, but you know, sound and things like that. Oh, look how loud the background music is. We're going to promptly turn that down. Sound effects can stay. Okay. Fly. Successful glide. Okay. Awesome sauce. Let's just go back. Especially not when all he does is look back at me as if this is the first time he's seen me. I mean, it's not. Luke murdered his wife, supposedly. Probably. As if he hadn't just nearly shoved me over with his big lump of a body. This text is a little slower than I'm used to.
You're excused.
Oh, Snapples. You're excused, he says. I'm sure Luke is going to take that well. The text speed is bothering me, so I do have to change that too. I'm going to turn that all the way up. The way he says it, the way he looks at me, it leaves me feeling so cold. I have this gut feeling telling me I should know him. Yes, when you murdered somebody's wife, you probably should know who they are. At least me, I read that. But he doesn't even let me get a word in when he disappears through the door.
A bloody wanker.
Journal update. Okay. Let's look for... Aha, there it is. Wright met with the LPD's Chief Inspector Lee to discuss what they would be doing with Zachary Steele. He was also surprised to hear that the investigation on the Luxborn firm case was still ongoing, which the chief inspector reassured him about. Okay. Harvey Lee, Chief Inspector. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Stepping out of the room, and right, I'm supposed to be badly British. Stepping out of the room, the chaos, I let in a breath of fresh air, or as fresh as it's going to get in a city. I do hate going to the precinct. It's a fucking zoo filled with animals, people who step in included. But it's not like the city is any better. Humans are just a higher form of animals after all. We all delude ourselves into thinking otherwise. And I call up the car to take me away from it all. Though I can't bring myself to step inside the house when I do get home. Hannah still rests. I assume I hear nothing said otherwise. Not her voice or her laughter, which will easily fill any space with cheer. Everything is quiet, other than the hum of engineering from the car being brought away. A bird's cry sounds off from the gardens, snapping me out of my reverie, and makes me look in that direction. It's an easy decision to go there. If Hannah is resting, recovering from sickness, I don't want to disturb her with how agitated and annoyed I am underneath the surface. No matter how well hidden, I can keep it. Not to mention, I've been neglecting the garden for too long. Do we get to see a pretty garden image? I do love a pretty garden image. Might as well stay put outside here for the time being. I guess not. But teasing me with garden images and whatnot. Grey skies loom over the horizon, though the sun fights for every precious minute it gets to stay. What I do like about this game is that the lighting does change properly for the different times of days. It's not just a filter. Like, it's sunset time, so we have an orangey filter, but like the shadows never change. Or my favorite, the dark filter over a light day. And they'll even change the sun. Fantastic. I really do like the art that's going on in the background of this game. It'll rain again soon, with the winds bringing along the glooming clouds and normal to Luxborn. Until then, doesn't hurt to be out here, fresh air and sunshine. I walk to the gardens with little of it there is, at the moment anyway, and kneel by the daffodils. These were the first to be brought here and planted on my request, and if nothing else, they brought an essence of peace. They were Mother's favorites. Aww. They were Mummy's favorites. Closing my eyes, I felt my chin. I lift my chin, makes more sense, up to welcome the light that shines upon me. And for a minute, I can imagine myself as one of the flowers, peaceful, blooming, and too happy to stand in its warmth. Life would be much easier if we were all like flowers, wouldn't it? But I didn't step out here to get all philosophical. I have problems, much more practical. Practical? I got a little Irish there, didn't I? Then figuring out the meaning of life. After all, too many things have gone on these past few days, and I want to forget about them, even for just a moment.
It's almost All Saints, isn't it? To think I've almost forgotten.
Is that like a... I don't know what that is, holiday-wise. I'm sure I should know. I just don't. Is that like a day of mourning or something? I speak the words absent-mindedly. The date means nothing to me, as I neither worship the religion nor have any graves to visit. After all, Mother was never given a proper burial. But it's a date, good as any, for me to grieve. Otherwise, I would have done so every single day, crippling myself and shutting everything else out. I can remember how the flames licked at her flesh and now, and how it consumed her body until there was nothing left but ash. I stood there watching with the operators and a social service worker, though I could have been alone for all I cared. I felt alone. It was the most that could be done. Lost my accent. Not that I've been keeping it very well. I tried a lot harder when I was doing Hannah's voice. Then Luke, admittedly. No one would attend the funeral of a dead prostitute, let alone pay for it. After all, all that is left of her is that she had lived. Proof that she had lived, as her name written on the ledger of Luxbourne Cemetery, a lighter, and me. Oh. Pulling out the lighter from my jacket, I can't stop myself from flicking it open to stare at the flame and to run my thumbs over her name. All in all, it isn't much, but it's something. And it'll be wrong of me not to make something of myself when she would have given me everything. When she would have given everything to make sure I can become anything I want to be.
Feels like I'm stuck in a nightmare right now.
We haven't even started yet.
What I would give to have you here by my side, Mother dear. To see you smiling at me. Alive and as beautiful as ever.
Oh, I swear something's gonna happen that just makes me want to punch him in the face. Because every time I'm like, Luke, I get it. I get you, man. He does something like, and those bleep and bleep and bleep bleep racial slur racial slur, super demeaning to women. I'm like, God damn it.
I'm afraid I'm starting to forget what your face looks like. I've already forgotten the shade of your hair.
Eleanor Chandler was a wonderful woman, though not everyone would have agreed. Not everyone had seen past her occupation, past her vices and her illness. All they saw was a poor woman who sold her body to make ends meet and had a bastard son because of it. They didn't see the mother who worked hard to put the food on the table for me. The woman who gave and gave and gave to me while expecting nothing in return. She taught me the merits of hard work, but though I loved her so, I worked hard for myself. I would not be so foolish, so selfless towards people who would never give back. I learned that from the father who plucked me out of an orphanage for his own selfish gain. I pocket the lighter before I can feel the urge to actually set anything on blaze. Considering my close proximity to the flowers, they would be the most likely victim of arson. Got the little Irish there again. Just the thought itself, blasphemous. Nevertheless, that doesn't save them from being picked, just enough to make a bouquet of the things honored of Eleanor.
Would you be proud of me if you saw me now, Mother? Maybe.
Probably not. You're a bit murdery and racist and chauvinistic and kind of an awful person. But other than that, yeah. So proud.
You're always so forgiving. No matter what trouble I got into, more than I deserved. Especially now.
It's been a while since I've talked to my mother like this. I've been thinking of both my dear parents far too much as of late. When I shouldn't. I have a future to look forward to and the present to take care of. The memories of the past give me nothing but grief. The life of Lucille Mitchell Chandler should be nothing but a footnote in Luke Wright's non-existent autobiography. It's because of Hannah, isn't it? A worry that she's all too much like Mother, that it scares me, and the thoughts that I'm turning into my father is even more so. But even if history is so set on repeating itself, I'm not a child anymore. Content, set aside, unable to do anything to help, and too inexperienced to think that the worst wouldn't happen. I have money to buy the best medicines and doctors if need be. She'll get better. She has to. And once we get over this little bump in the road, I can stop worrying. All will be right with the world. Unfortunately, my time alone cut short, though.
I think those flowers look beautiful, my lord.
Who is this peasant that is talking to me? I'm not given them permission to do thus.
The parlor, the room where the lady stays for her tea, it could certainly use some.
The voice is not familiar, though. I'm not really one to remember such things. Oh? Is this the ghost? The smiling ghost who tries to murder us all the time? Is this what she used to be like? I wonder. I guess we'll see as I keep reading. Going with her attire, I would say that she's one of the housekeepers. Strange considering I've sent all this stuff up, but Johan's away. And her face, as pretty as it is, unfamiliar to me. Ah, yes, and he knows all of the pretty faces. It would be a lie if I said that I didn't set me on. I wouldn't lie if it didn't set me on edge. Most would say that I care little for my employees. That isn't entirely untrue. However, I'd like to think I know the people who work for me, especially those who would roam my home, even if it is just a face and a name. Besides, I would remember a beauty such as her. So, who is this? If she is someone impersonating a household staff to get in, she's doing a bad job of it.
Didn't you get the memo? Are you new? Today is a day off. You aren't supposed to be here.
I expect poor excuses and apologies the likes of her often give, but she merely smiles.
Oh, no. I've been a servant here since you first came.
And I see no signs of lying, nor hear in her words, yet they can't be true. But I find that I feel like I can relax. She has a sort of smile that makes one kindness shine through without words or action. It reaches her eyes, filling them with a strange sort of mirth, as if she just thought of something very funny. Perhaps, had it been any other person, I would have interpreted as a deceitful grin, but the curl of her lips and the shine of her eyes are too soft to hold any malice. Whoa, yet so far, maybe you haven't seen the true her yet. Or I can't really say that's the true her, the current her yet. Who knows what she went through to make her turn into this crazy ghost lady. I hope we find out. Seriously, if it turns out that because I have so many people alive and I never figure out what really happens in the ghost story, everyone will die. I will get an answer to this whole ghosty thing. She takes my silence as a sign that she can continue. And it's not like I feel any urge to try to stop her. I'm not really in the mood for company, but I'm not adverse to it at the moment either. Entertaining a beauty like her, even for a little while, wouldn't hurt. If it helps, that she proves easy to listen to. It helps that she proves easy to listen to, despite how oddly she speaks.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have bothered you. Look at me, talking to the master of the house without even asking for permission. What will the others think?
That you're a hoe. Probably. Usually, charlatan. What a harlot. She looked at a man.
If you'll excuse me, I'll just...
I haven't driven you away yet, have I? And it's your day off. I don't see why we can't chat a bit.
Of course. If that is what you wish. As long as it does not get you into trouble with the lady.
Like, let's not flirt around while our pregnant wife is sick in bed, Luke?
To even take time for someone as lowly as me. No wonder that everyone under the mansion's employ is so fond of you.
Yeah, she is definitely not talking about Luke. She's... he does look like the other guy in the portrait, the fiancé. Maybe, like, he's a reincarnation or something?
Though it should have no longer been a surprise to me. You have always been such a kind and loving lord.
I have to stop myself from calling her out on her shite. It's almost as if she's talking about an entirely different man. No matter how big of my ego gets, I know for a fact that I'm hardly in the running for Best Boss of the Year award. The only reason that most of my staff stay is because of the decent compensation. I'm not cheap. But if she wants to lay it out on Dick, I'll allow it. Who wouldn't want a beautiful woman complimenting them?
I'm sure she'll be fine with this. We are just talking after all. Unless you had other things on your mind when you approached me.
See that thing where I was like, I just want to punch him in the face? There it is. The words leave my mouth before I even realize what I've said. I panic a bit. I've given up on the accent. It's making my face hurt. Though I can get away with picking up women out in the city, sometimes even out of the county. I've always taken care not to do so in my home or in my businesses. Not when it'll be so easy for Hana to find out about my infidelity through these channels. Though, seriously, I still don't see what the big deal about it is. Oh my goodness. Remember how you were super jealous when she was getting close to Zach? It's like that. I just have an itch I need to scratch. And a face that needs punched.
I know it must be amusing to see a girl flustered for a man of your stature. But please don't say such things, my lord.
Yeah, back in the day, that would have been a death sentence.
I saw you alone and simply thought you could use some company.
Maybe it was. And that's why she was burned. Thankfully, and I do count my lucky stars, it seems the woman takes it as a joke rather than the casual pass it was intended to be.
So how are you liking your work around the mansion? The place is wonderful, but I imagine the upkeep is ungodly with all the rooms and whatnot.
Indeed it must be.
I don't even want to think about how many people are on the staff roster.
Work is work, my lord.
What a wonderful answer. It's like when you're applying for a job and they're like, so, why do you want this job? Because I want money. Why else would I want this job? Okay, we will see how the date between the maid and the Lord goes in the next episode. I am Tato Cat. If you haven't already liked, comment, subscribe. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.